Hey there, Leo. Welcome to your reading for 2026. This is going to be your 2026 general reading. Your first row is going to represent what major opportunities to look out for in 2026. You have this Earth card. It says utilize logic, reason, and common sense. You have this Knight. It says triumph over adversity. One thing I will say is I only have one more reading to do, and pretty much everyone has been getting these great cards of like having victories, overcoming obstacles, things like that. So I feel pretty good about that for everyone. It seems to be a year where people could be just like overcoming obstacles. Last year, or I should say this year if you're watching this in 2025, but 2025's main theme was kind of efficiency, simplification, things like that. I think we should continue doing that for many years to come, plain and simple. But, if I had to pick a main theme for everyone in the collective this year, it would be, like overcoming obstacles and, having victories. I don't think that means it's going to be easy, but I definitely feel the energy exists to be taken advantage of, to be able to have those, successes and victories. So I would make sure to take advantage of it, and we'll talk all about it in this reading for you, Leo. And, that's what I would really pay attention to, plain and simple. You have the Four Swords, the Death card, and the Two of Cups. The Four Swords, again, we're looking at the opportunities you should be taking advantage of this year. The Four Swords is resting, relaxing, recovering. The message I'm getting here for you, Leo, is about allowing things to happen. It's kind of a weird thing. It's, definitely I am the type of person where my whole life I've tried to like force things to happen. And it took me, 37 years to figure out that doesn't work, right? So I feel for the most part, sometimes when we just stop forcing or stop like trying to make things happen, that's when things can actually happen. And I know that's a hard thing. For a lot of people, including myself, right? It's like, I don't know. It's like I just have that mindset that I should be able to work on something and it should work. But sometimes that doesn't work. So I kind of feel this is saying it would be good for you to be in a position of just allowing or to get into that energetic space, right? Next, you have the Death card. Definitely a big opportunity for change. I think you were heavily affected by Neptune and Pisces. Neptune will be moving into Aries in January, at the end of January, the 26th or whatever it is. And, so again, I think Neptune's change, even though, like, why, I can't really explain it in the first place, but, like, why I feel like it affected you so much, but I do think it did. And I do feel like Neptune's change is going to allow you to change and, allow you to change some of your belief systems or what you believe about yourself. That's really what's popping into my head with the Death card. And I do feel it's going to be extremely beneficial for you. It's like the more Leo believes in themselves, the better. So, I think that this year, this type working on changing your own beliefs could be very beneficial. Next, you have the Two of Cups. You're the only person so far to have a love card in this first row. So, the Two of Cups can be a perfect match, and there could absolutely be a perfect match coming in for you here this year. And yeah, it feels really good to me, Leo. It's like I see an airplane in my head. So you could be traveling with this person. But I don't know. I feel like this is like a lot of movement. It's kind of interesting. It's like, sometimes I think people find a person that like improves their life, and because their life improves, like your life can improve as well. And, it's like, I'm not saying that you are the reason this person's life is improving, but it's like kind of like a catalyst. I don't know, very interesting to me. It's kind of like a weird message, but it almost feels to me like it's you that is improving this person's life. And because of that, I think you're going to get a lot of benefits. So, again, if you are entering into someone's life this year, then absolutely looks amazing for sure. Like I said, I think you're going to get all the benefits of it. So why not, right? But it looks really, really good to me. Let's see. We're going to clarify with the Oracle of the Radiant Sun. So we're going to see what comes up. With the Four Swords, you have this Friendship card. Yeah, it's an amazing year for people, I would say. I think it's an amazing year for people to, like, really focus on those concentrated connections, which I talk about a lot now, because I feel like it's very important that we make sure that the people we're surrounding ourselves with, or the people whose lives we're being, that we are in, that they are, like, truly supportive connections. So getting into supportive connections, could be very beneficial for you. And also like really focusing on those close connections will be good. With the death card, you have this adaptability card. Yeah, that's the other thing. The death card can absolutely be about adapting to new situations because it's a death, it's a transformation. You're entering into something new. So being adaptable is absolutely going to be important. We also have Uranus and Gemini. Uranus and Gemini wants us to be spontaneous, flexible, wants us to find other ways of doing things. So, I think all that will be good. With the Two of Cups, you have this quarrel card here. I feel like that's what you're used to. It is weird. It's like this is a very reciprocal connection is what I'm getting. It's like maybe what you are used to is competitive connections, right? I feel like this is something that's more reciprocal, something that's more... like this is going to sound wrong, what I'm about to say here, Leo, but this truly, it feels like just like a relationship. I know that sounds stupid because it is a relationship, but that's not the word I'm looking for. It's like a beneficial relationship. It's like you both like benefit each other, but that's not the word I'm looking for. There's a term for that type of relationship, like in biology. I don't know. It'll come to me later, but there you go. Next, we're going to look at your blind spot for 2026. You have this Truth Be Told card and this No Place Like Home card. Yes, Death card. The thing about the Death card is it can make us want to stay where we are. And the Death card, there's like sometimes a little bit of fear about like where things are going or what the future looks like, but we kind of have to be willing to explore. And so that's maybe one blind spot. The Truth Be Told card, we're all going to be seeing the truth. I'm not too worried about it. We're in a time where the matrix is dissolving. Basically, it's like if you look at a lot of things going on right now, it's like people don't believe most of the official stories that are going around, right? So it's like I think people are really just seeing the truth. I think people are not buying it anymore. So we're kind of in that time in general. You have the Knight of Swords, the Temperance card, and the King of Swords. No rushing. Number one, you always get the Knight of Swords with me, and the Knight of Swords is about being too hasty. I would also say no running back to the past. I'm not talking about a person or anything specific. It could be multiple things, but I think I've said to you before, Leo, that everything is in front of you, nothing is behind you, and I feel you really need to trust that and believe that with the Knight of Swords. It'll help you the most, and so like no running back to comfort zones, and I would definitely avoid that. You have the Temperance card. The Temperance card is about patience. I kind of feel for you that, if something doesn't work immediately, that doesn't mean it's not working, right? So it's like a little bit of a blind spot. I feel that it's saying, sometimes we have to put in enough effort to get something to work. But I also feel that it's saying, any opportunities that you're working on this year, any projects, businesses, health things that you're working on, it's like just because, stepping on a scale, it's like just because the number isn't changing doesn't mean it's not working, right? It's like I feel this card is almost encouraging you to give things a little bit more time this year than you normally would. And yeah, I know that can be hard, but at the same time, I feel it'll be very beneficial, Leo, so I would give things more time. You have the King of Swords. King of Swords is knowledge and wisdom. Yes, I'm pretty sure I've said this to you before as well, that I think the curse of knowledge could be a little bit of a problem for Leo right now because we are in a very different time. So it's like you probably have a lot of knowledge that you've gained over the years, and that knowledge is not necessarily wrong, but I think it's wrong right now. And so you might see opportunities and you might be thinking like, oh, that won't work because it didn't work for me 10 years ago. But maybe actually it could work, right? So you don't have to invest every last second of your life into something that didn't work for you in the past. But I do feel the card is saying like a little bit of a blind spot again. I don't really feel any like major blind spots for you in this reading. I think they're just tiny little things. And I feel this is saying you could at least try again, and just a little bit. You don't even have to like overinvest or anything like that. But I think it would be worth it for you to try things that didn't work before, and in your past, and just see if they might work now. And like I said, no overinvesting or anything like that. But it could be a good thing for you. With the Knight of Swords, you have this Principal card again, Neptune and Pisces. This card here is Jupiter and Sag, but it's about your principles and your beliefs. Neptune and Pisces, I think, like I said, affected you a lot, and it could have to do with your belief system, like what you believe, like how you believe the world should work. And so I think that Leo, over the past many years, for example, has been disappointed by how, people treated you, for example. Because sometimes I think that maybe that energy made you enter into certain circumstances, and it almost made you blind to like what people were actually doing behind the scenes, because you're like, I wouldn't do this, so they're not doing this to me, whatever it is, right? And, I feel like you finally have seen through that. But I also feel like it's saying it's okay to have principles, but you have to understand that not everybody is going to follow those principles. And, I don't feel too bad about this, because I feel like you're understanding that just in general. With the Temperance card, you have this vision card. A lot of people have had this card, and I do feel that we need to have a clear vision moving forward for many years to come, not just 2026, but for the foreseeable future. We need to be clear where we're going, what we want. We need to get clear on what our vision looks like. And, it's no mistake you have the Ten of Pentacles right here. Ten of Pentacles is your ultimate vision for your life. It is everything you want and desire. But, pretty much the first step of the Ten of Pentacles is to know what you want and to figure it out so that you can work backwards and create it. And I definitely would do that. With the King of Swords, you have this impulsiveness card. Again, we are in an impulsive time because of Uranus and Gemini. Uranus enters back into Gemini in April. And so it is like a little bit of an impulsive energy. I think that we're going to have to be able to take advantage of opportunities a little bit more quickly than we normally would. But we also, there's a big difference between taking advantage of the opportunity and rushing, right? So we need to I think we need to be quick when we say yes to something. And then once we get started, we should take our time, if that makes sense. Because again, I think that the Knight of Swords says no rushing. But at the same time, it's like, I think the opportunities, you have to think about Uranus and Gemini. Uranus and Gemini is like information coming through your head and going out the other side. But it's happening 24/7. It's just all this flow of information. And so if you don't jump on an opportunity quickly, you're going to lose it. But if you jump on it too quickly and you invest every last second into it, you're going to burn yourself out, right? So we have to find that balance point. We have to take action. We have to do something to bring the dream down to earth, and we have to take a step, but we don't necessarily have to take 1,000 steps right away, right? So, you have to find balance between those two things. Next, we are going to look at your next right step. You have this dreaming card. It says creation, nonlinear time, and sacred sites. You have this classroom. It says self-evaluation, growth, and performance. Yeah, it is kind of like an independent year as well, which is kind of funny. This is a 1 year. 2026 adds up to 10, which is 1. 1 is you, the individual, right? So I do feel that it would be a good year for you to focus on yourself, to have some metrics that you want to meet, to kind of like evaluate yourself honestly as well. And it's like the only person you're competing with this year is you. And so that's kind of what this is saying to me. And like maybe what you create is what you are competing with. So there you go. You have the Four of Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Ace of Wands. The Four of Pentacles would be about walking away from a comfort zone, which you get with me all the time, Leo. So I definitely feel any comfort zones that you've been stuck in or anything that you've been doing too much would be good for you to kind of like leave behind. You have the Ten of Pentacles, again, which is everything you want and desire in your life. So the Ten of Pentacles, but I feel for you, your next step should be to get clear on the Ten of Pentacles. I think I always say this to you. One of my favorite exercises of all time is to like write down your life as if it went 110% according to plan, as if everything worked, right? What would that life look like? Now, can you create that life? I don't know, probably not. Life isn't perfect, but if you start working backwards and you start trying to build it, your life will improve. So, that's what I would do with the Ten of Pentacles is like write down everything as if it went 1,000,000% according to plan and nothing could get in your way, and then start working backwards from there. You have the Ace of Wands. I feel like you need to find some new things that excite you, basically, with the Ace of Wands. I almost get this excitement feeling on this card. It can be an exciting card because it can be like a spark of hope or a spark of inspiration. But it's almost like you have to hunt for it or look for it, Leo. And, I think that, getting out into the world, having new experiences, could help you kind of like manifest something or, kind of find that spark that you're looking for. With the Ten of Pentacles, you have this Revenge card. A lot of people have been getting this card as well. And so I would be careful of past people who are trying to get revenge, or I would be careful of falling into revenge in the first place. Because, again, a lot of people have been getting this. So, it might just be a collective vibe. With the Ten of Pentacles, yes, you have this Innovation card. Again, Pluto, your opposite sign, is in your opposite sign, Aquarius. So I definitely feel that it is a very innovative time for Leo. And any innovative ideas could lead to wealth with that Ten of Pentacles, or could lead to a ton of abundance. So I would be, innovating as much as you possibly can. With the Ace of Wands, you have this empathy card. I think you need to have more empathy for yourself. Like another theme that I've been seeing this year is like self-love, like more self-love. Like people need to love themselves more. And so the Ace of Wands, it's like sometimes I think if we don't take advantage of an opportunity, we are basically saying, I don't love myself, because we're saying I'm not good enough to take advantage of this opportunity. And, the Ace of Wands can be out with the old, in with the new, or an exciting new opportunity. So I feel like this is saying you need to love yourself enough to, jump on those opportunities that you think you deserve. And I would make sure you do that. Next, speaking of love, we're going to look at your love life. And if you don't want love, this could be something that you will love. You have this Family and Heritage card, which says it's time to get back in touch with loved ones you've been away from. Yes. You have this Aquarius card. It says think outside the box and stretch the boundaries of what could be. Yes, definitely. I think that for those of you that are single and looking, you could be finding something that is like, kind of very expansive, obviously, and just a really good connection. I do feel like there's like a little bit of self-doubt or whatever. It's like, I don't know, maybe you're attracting a really good person or someone that you think is better than you, but, I would go for it. It will lead to personal growth. You have the Magician, the Hermit, and the Strength card. So the Magician says you can have whatever you want, right? It says that you can manifest the connection you desire, and I would definitely do that. The Magician also says you are changing. It's a card of reinvention. And obviously, I think when we change, we attract a new type of person. So you're probably attracting a new type of person. You have the Hermit. I feel like that you're attracting someone who needs to get out of hermit mode, is what I feel. I don't think this is you. You're going to have to be honest with yourself. If you've been in hermit mode, then obviously I would get out into public to meet a person. But I don't know. I kind of feel like you're attracting a person that has been keeping themselves hidden or whatever. Sometimes when I get readings like this, I feel that you could be wondering, like, how is this person single? But, it's like maybe because they've been hiding for a while. Or maybe they've kind of taken a break or whatever. So I kind of do feel you could be attracting a little bit of a hermit type energy. I feel like they're coming out. Like they're coming out of their shell. They're getting to that more social place. But, definitely could be attracting a person like this. Next, you show up. Whenever you show up as yourself in a love position, it kind of says that, number one, you need to love yourself more. Number two, it says that you're showing up in a position of power and strength and you can get whatever you want. So definitely showing up in a powerful position as far as love is concerned. With the Magician, you have this Assertion card. I feel like you could be attracting an assertive person. Like, yeah, they could be in hermit mode, but they could be a very bold, assertive type of person or type of energy that you are attracting into your life. You might have to be a little bit more assertive, I feel, in a connection, like more flirtatious or something. So I don't know. If you haven't met a person yet, it's like maybe you need to flirt more or speak up more. I definitely do get that energy here. And, I think that would make all the difference in the world. With the Hermit, you have this Speculation card. I feel like you're already interested in someone here, Leo. So if you want love, you probably already have your eye on a person, and you're wondering if they would be interested in you or not. And there's two people here, so I would say, yes, they're interested, for sure. Or they would be. Like, maybe they don't even know that you exist, but I think they would be interested. So, again, more flirting, right? With the Strength card, you have this Extremism card. I would definitely be careful of extreme energies. That's like one danger with Neptune and Saturn and Aries is people who are just like too intense, right? So I would be careful of people who are intense. I kind of feel this is saying like you could be getting into a connection, but you need to be careful of other people. Is what it's saying to me. Like, it's like you might meet a person and like maybe their ex contacts you or something like that. I would be careful of that. They're probably just crazy. So, I wouldn't listen to other people if you're attracting a connection. Next, we're going to look at the good stuff. You have this fortune teller card. It says psychic gifts, unexpected news, intuition, external forces, future, the unknown. You have this disconnection. It says detached, alienated, indifference, reluctance, no interest, dissatisfied. This is coming up in the good stuff. And again, I feel like this detached card or disconnection card is actually encouraging you to be detached from outcome. It doesn't mean that you don't care about what you're working on, but I do feel it's a good year to not have any expectations. We're in a time of allowing. The more we just allow things to go however they're gonna go, and the more we accept it, the better. So if something isn't work, if you just allow something to work but it doesn't work, then it's time to move on to something else and allow the next thing to work. But if you're attaching too much meaning to something, then I would avoid that energy. But you have this fortune teller card, and it kind of says that you could be getting answers, unexpected news, but this could be like good news coming in for you. You have the Ten of Cups, the Hierophant, and the Empress. Ten of Cups is like fortune after difficulty. Very good card for the good stuff. And it can also represent like manifesting a dream, happy home, happy family. Definitely very good for love, for those of you that want it. But I feel that some of you are working towards a dream. I feel like you're doing it again. That's what I feel like saying here, Leo. It's almost like, I don't know. If you're thinking about reworking something, like a project that you already tried once, or, like a business that you've already tried once, or maybe love, like maybe you're thinking about giving love another chance, it just gives me, for some reason that's popping into my head. I feel like you could be trying something again this year, and I would. It looks like if you're thinking about giving something a second chance, it could work out really well for you. You have the Hierophant. Ten of Cups can be blessings. The Hierophant is blessing these two people in front of him here. So I kind of feel like you feel that this year is better in general. And you could feel like there are more blessings coming in for you. I definitely don't think we're in an easy time. So I like to remind people that we should be taking advantage of opportunities as they come. Just because a reading says there's blessings, like, yeah, sure, there could be blessings coming in for you, but you're probably still going to have to work for it. So don't be afraid of putting in the work with this card. You have the Empress, which is amazing. It says you could be very attractive at this time, Leo. Also says you could be attracting a lot of abundance as well. So if you've been working on something, or if you're going to be working on something, definitely could be a lot of abundance. You always get the Empress with me, and I'm always talking about ease, right? She doesn't have to struggle to grow this wheat in front of her. All she has to do is wave her scepter here in front of her, and the wheat in front of her will grow. So the whole point of the Empress is to, kind of focus on allowing things to be easy. And again, I think allowing is a good word for you in 2026. Not forcing, but allowing. With the Ten of Cups, you have this devotion card, which I love. A lot of people have had this card as well. And so, I don't know, it kind of looks like a good year for love. This card is like my till death do us part card. There's this dead bird with this other bird. So, you could be attracting a very devoted connection, or a very devoted person that you will also probably be very devoted to. I feel like I've said this to you before, Leo, but I feel like the two of you are very different. We have the sun and the moon here. But sometimes opposites attract, and this could definitely be an opposite situation. If I have said that to you before, which I think I have, then it's definitely true. So it could be an opposite. There could be a lot of differences, but again, sometimes that works. With the Hierophant, you have this influence card. Yes, it's coming up in the good stuff, but I'm telling you right now, that extremism card, I feel it on that card that you could be finding a person where you're like, where their ex approaches you, like this person does all these things, and it's like not true, right? So I would be very careful if random ass people are contacting you about a person, and I kind of feel, that's what I feel. But in the good stuff, this would say this could make, the two of you could be becoming very influential because of the connection. With the Empress, you have this submission card. Again, in the good stuff, this card is good. This bird is in this cage. It reminds me of the Eight of Swords. The cage door is open. The bird could easily escape the cage, but, it's staying stuck in the cage. So I feel for a lot of you that it could be a good year for you to set yourself free. I feel like you are. It's coming up in the good stuff. So you could be removing yourself from burdens. Again, the Empress wants you to make things easier. The Empress wants you to allow for that flow in all areas of your life. And so I just kind of feel like you are getting into more of a flow vibe or a flow energy, and it could just be making your life easier, which is amazing here, Leo. But this looks pretty good. I like it. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your year. Make sure to leave a like and a comment as well.